Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
What's up, everyone? I'm your host, Mike Morrison. I want to thank you for joining me this week. If you're looking for tips and advice on growing your membership, you are in the right place. Now, we all know that membership websites are a value exchange. As long as you keep delivering value to your members in the form of content, resources, and ongoing investment in your product, they'll keep giving value to you in the form of their continued subscription payments. So what content can you actually include in your membership in order to ensure that you keep up your side of that bargain? Online courses are perhaps one of the most common types of content that you'll find inside a membership site. So if you're teaching one or two subjects within your membership that have a very clear start and end point, as well as defined outcomes and learning objectives, then structuring your content as a course which helps deliver those outcomes is going to be a great way of serving your members. Whether these are short courses of around 30 minutes or so in length, or epic beasts that span multiple hours, providing a selection of courses to help your members achieve their goals is going to help draw people in. Now, if you don't want to spend all that time creating courses and loads of content up front, sitting at a desk churning out course material, or if yours is a topic that's not well suited to traditional courses, then running regular live training calls or webinars can be a great alternative way of delivering value to your members. The webinar format is also a great way of encouraging discussion amongst attendees, and it's a well-suited format to enabling you to bring in guest experts too, so you'll get to expose members to a wider variety of expertise while lightening your own personal content creation workload. Another live format that can work extremely well is a live member Q&A call. So these are opportunities for your members to pick your brains, to ask you questions, and to get your help with their biggest challenges. Now, there's not much work involved in this for you. You simply show up, you make yourself available at a designated time, and the value comes from people being given that access to you and your undivided attention when answering their questions. Now, there's a variety of different software solutions to make your member calls highly interactive. You can use something like GoToWebinar, Google Hangouts, Zoom. All of these things allow your members to actually speak to you live, and in some cases actually appear on camera too. So you can do these for Q&A calls. You could even do little mastermind or roundtable calls as well. Again, it's all about that real-time interaction. There's so much value comes out of those calls, and the actual workload involved for you is pretty minimal. You just need to show up. Now, of course, the downside of live content is that it's in real time. You need to attend live in order to get the most of it. To counteract this, you should be recording any live sessions you do and then adding them to some sort of archive inside your membership. Not only does this ensure that people who miss the live session don't lose out, but it also means that as time goes on, you're building an extremely valuable back catalogue of material which becomes accessible to any new member who joins your site. This increases the overall value proposition of your membership offering. Now, switching gears, we regularly talk about the importance of community for successful memberships. It's the community part of a membership that is usually the thing that keeps members subscribed for months and years on end, long past the point which they'll need your course or training content. Every membership, we feel, should have some form of community element, whether it's a full-blown community forum or just a discussion section or a comment section for your training material. So again, in terms of content, having that community is a great way of getting that user-generated content, the sort of discussions that can be yielded by giving people a platform to ask questions, to post their thoughts and experiences. That can be so valuable and goes well beyond what you're going to be able to cover if you're creating courses, doing webinars, and so on. Something else that makes for great member content is offering exclusive downloads to your members, particularly if it's software, resources, or tools that they either would not be able to access elsewhere or that they'd need to pay a premium for. In some cases, a convenience factor of simply packaging up resources that people would have to spend a lot of time gathering themselves. Just making those things available in one spot is enough to add extra value. So as an example, in membersiteacademy.com, all the lead magnets, all the opt-in bribes, the guides, the PDFs, the plugin comparison chart, all that stuff that's on our membershipguys.com website that you'd have to opt in for. We've just put those all in one spot for our Academy members to give that little bit of extra convenience. Now, no one's going to join the membership just to be able to have the convenience of having all those email opt-ins available in one spot, but it's a tiny little value add. And of course, in terms of giving people software resources, exclusive tools and downloads, again, within the Academy, we've got the member-only theme, which you can only get if you're a member. We've developed little WordPress plugins that add cool little features to your site, and these things are only available for download to members too. So those make for great content for our Academy members. We're also big fans of offering member perks too. So if you can offer your members exclusive discounts and perks, then you can directly put an indisputable dollar value on what's inside your membership. If you can save your members more on the software, services, and products that they need in their business or for their hobbies than they actually have to spend to be part of your membership, then the decision to join becomes a no-brainer. So negotiating these kind of member-only perks, save 10% here, get a free month there, get the premium plan for the price of the standard plan, for all the things that your members would potentially be paying for anyway, then again, you get in that situation where just by being a member, they could ultimately be saving more money than they're actually spending to get access to your membership. That's an incredible value add, and it makes your membership a complete no-brainer because they're saving more than they spend. Now, you could have the best courses and training material in the world, but if someone doesn't put in the effort, if they don't put in the work, then they're not going to get anything out of your membership. You are entirely relying on your member to extract the value from your membership. That's not the case if you're offering these kind of perks and discounts. It's not contingent on someone doing any work. They just have to take advantage of the offers and the perks that you've negotiated for them. Now, obviously, we talked about courses, we talked about webinars and stuff like that, but not every piece of membership content needs to be a full-blown course or a live session. Standalone articles, tutorials, how-tos, or mini courses have a lot of value too, particularly for solving very specific problems or for a topic such as keeping fit or cookery, where individual content pieces make more sense than putting together a full-blown 5-hour-long course. Now, depending on your market or your topic, a library of standalone short content can have massive value to members. Or in some cases, you can use this type of content to supplement broader courses with more in-depth library of supporting material. Great example of this is with our own member site, academy.com, where we have the quick wins section. So these are very short tutorial videos on mega specific stuff. Quite often it's technical stuff, but not always. Now, these are things that wouldn't make sense to turn into a course because they're just tiny little tasks, but they're the sort of things that people struggle with. And so by putting together a 5-minute or a 10-minute video, we can help people get past a sticking point in their business to do one really specific but really clever thing. And this type of content, it's not our main content. It's not the core of what we offer in the membership, but our members absolutely love it. And it goes a long way to covering stuff that we otherwise wouldn't be able to cover within our other content formats. So this sort of short, standalone content works really well in memberships, particularly one where there's a lot of depth and a lot of different aspects to your subject. So again, when it comes to supplementary content, we love things like cheat sheets, checklists, quick reference guides, and stuff like that. Things that can help people to quickly take action and are easy for them to refer back to at the time. So these are almost like cliff notes for a full book. So it can be a really great idea to create this quick reference material for your larger courses and your larger content. Perhaps every module in your course, you can create a quick reference sheet or a cheat sheet that summarizes the absolute key points from that module, from that course. So if someone needs to refer back or if someone needs a quick reminder, they're not having to go through hours and hours of video. They can just pull up this cheat sheet. Or they can open the checklist and straight away they've got that little prompt. They've got that little reminder. And these sort of things can work as standalone stuff too. Again, for smaller tasks or maybe where people want to model a pre-established system or approach. Giving people the cliff notes can be extremely valuable because it saves them time and it gets them to where they want to go a little bit quicker. So these work great as standalone pieces of content as well as supplementary content for your courses and stuff like that. We also love workbooks and action plans too. There's a great quote by Herbert Spencer that says, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." This is absolutely something which applies to your membership. People will usually join your site in order to achieve or accomplish something specific. Rarely do people join just to increase their knowledge for the sake of it. They want to get something. They want to achieve a goal or get a result. And in order to do that, they need to put what they learn into practice. So providing worksheets, providing action plans and exercises as key content within your membership that are action focused, that give people activity, that help them actually implement what they're learning. This is real valuable content for your members. Couple of other content types to talk about. Arranging interviews with key figures in your industry or experts in subjects that will help your members is a great way of setting your product apart from your competition, especially if these interviews are in-depth and cover specific strategies, techniques, and insight rather than merely fluff pieces or promotional opportunities for your guest. Interviews with experts can be leveraged for both your member content and your public content, such as your blog or podcast too. You can easily take a segment of your interview and release it on your public content platform, reserving the full version as a member-only exclusive. This is something that sites like Mixergy.com do very, very well. And finally, keep in mind that membership content doesn't all have to be epic stuff. It doesn't have to be courses, community, rich educational content. Day-to-day filler content is an important and often overlooked area. Regularly reporting the latest news and happenings from your membership, keeping members up to date on new content, on development of new features, on member wins, rounding up the hottest community discussions, all that sort of stuff. This is very much worth doing and your members will really appreciate it. So you could send out this sort of roundup, this member news as a weekly email digest, or you can go a step further and release a weekly or a monthly member news video. We do both. We send out a weekly roundup every Saturday that highlights the hottest discussions from within the community of that week, as well as any notable developments in the membership. And then once a month, we release the Academy Show, where we cover all the news from the Academy. We shout out some of our member wins and successes. We crown a member of the month, and we let people know what's coming up within the next few weeks. Great stuff with this kind of content. Because it's not your premium content, you could even publish this publicly to show non-members what they're missing out on. So those are just 12 types of content that you could include in your membership. Traditional online courses, live webinars, live member Q&A calls, content archives or recordings of previous live sessions, community forum, exclusive downloads and tools, member perks and offers, standalone short actionable content, cheat sheets and checklists, workbooks and action plans, exclusive interviews, and member news. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to offer all of this stuff. The most successful membership sites usually have a mix of maybe 4 or 5 of the types of content that we're talking about. It's important to get the balance right between offering enough variety to keep members interested and ensuring that you're not overwhelming people with too much content. So please don't sit and go through this whole list and think you have to offer all these different types of content. 3 or 4 should work just fine. The key is to focus on the problem that your membership is aiming to solve, and then identify the best way of delivering that solution and what type of content is going to best help people get to where they need to go. Everything stems from there. That's a wrap for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you found today's episode useful. Hopefully you've had some takeaways that you're going to be able to implement into your own business. I am out of here and I'll see you next week for another episode. If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out the membersiteacademy.com. The Membersite Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. So whether you're still figuring out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Membersite Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement and advice, the Membersite Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage and grow a successful membership website. So check it out at membersiteacademy.com.